All right, gonna have to make this quick because I have very little space on my device. But this is one of my P80 builds. This is a Glock 19 with a bronze, what do you call it? What they call these? The fluted slides. And the barrel's not fluted, just the slide is on 3 sides, as you can see. It is set for MOS, so I could get some red dot sightings on this if I wanted to. I also got some Glock night sights on it. They're kind of just night assisted. They're not, like tritium. Tritium is the best. You could see them in low lighting, it helps, but it's not the tritium stuff. That's like, that glows. That's worth $80. This wasn't worth no $80. But I'm pretty sure it actually came with the upper from, this is the Wolf one. This is the one I was talking about that's having light primer strikes. And I don't know if that's because I haven't put enough rounds downrange with it, and there might be some debris from the factory that's still in the way that needs to kind of get, just moved out of the way through use. Only time will tell as I put more rounds downrange with this. But, it holds 15, stock. I like the grip on it because it's a Glock 19, not a 17. Feels a lot better in the hand, me personally. And with that flush-fitting magazine, it's just perfect. I do have a Kydex holster for it. Bada bing, just like that, concealed. Usually wear a little bit looser clothing, but it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. I'm getting really good at these builds. This was my second one, I believe, but I've got many more to come. For instance, my next build I'm almost done with is this Glock 23. The only thing it's missing is the trigger, the trigger/trigger group. But beyond that, it's got the rails already mounted. What do you call it? The forward, well, I guess the rear rails as well, but it's already got the rails already mounted, and it racked nice and smooth. So I did a good job with the Dremel on that. This is supposed to be a Glock 23 clone, chambered in 40 caliber, of course. This is another P80. The upper, I think I got it from, it doesn't say anywhere on here, but I want to say I got it from like Rock Island Armories or something. I forget exactly. I'll have to look around if I still have any of the packaging and all that. But yeah, I like this, it's very regular degular. But me, that's how firearms are. I think firearms are kind of supposed to be that way. It's supposed to just kind of, just blend into your outfit. It's not supposed to stick out. I just wanted to try something different with this one. That's why I got the bronze, the burnt bronze. But it's pretty cool. I like it, and someone's not really gonna see it till you pull it out. So I guess it really doesn't matter because it's gonna be tucked under my shirt 95% of the time. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have an extended what do you call it, mag release on this one. The extended mag release helps just a little bit. It's just like a centimeter further out, so it's a little bit easier to drop the mag when you're reloading. But yeah, so far this runs pretty smooth. It does have the light primer strike issue, but as soon as you load that round back up, it goes bang again. Yeah, just a quick tap and rack will fix that until I can either put more rounds down range with it and see if the problem fixes itself, or if I need a new firing pin, or spring. That might be the issue as well, but just needed to put some more time down range with. I don't think it's a spring issue though, because when it comes to spring issues, like, oh, I kind of did it right there. You see how, so that's what's making me think it might be a spring issue, is because when you keep your finger pressed down on the trigger, see, that's why I was kind of forcing it to malfunction. that's what makes me think it's a spring issue. When it does this right here, it does kind of like a stovepipe type deal until you release the trigger, that's why I think it's a spring issue, and not necessarily a firing pin issue. A firing pin issue would just show signs of, yes, it struck the primer, but it didn't set off the round. This, on the other hand, is giving me the impression that it has the improper recoil spring in place. So I just need to tinker with that again, when I have the money, and see if that helps fix this. Bring a resolution to the problem that I found. But beyond that, it still functions. And that issue only happens, say if I'm dumping, or say if I'm shooting a couple hundred rounds, it'll only happen, a couple of times, a handful of times. So, whatever the percentage is on that, it's low, but still out of my comfort zone for me to rely upon this as to bring it into my 80C rotation. I have done it when I've needed to in the past, but it's always wisest to keep testing and testing and testing and testing it until you've resolved all the issues when it comes to building guns. Because if you want to use it as a self-defense EDC weapon, you're going to want to iron all the kinks out before you rely upon it to that extent. Like, make sure that you're testing it, and then once you got it to the point that you want it to be at, go ahead and put 500 rounds to 1,000 rounds downrange with it, and keep track of what kind of issues are happening, if any at all. And then once you get it to the point where it's having no issues, like my Glock 17 P80, that pretty much has no issues. Like 99% of the time it has no issues, unless you're like limp wristing it or something, or using an aftermarket extended magazine. Those are the only issues I've ever seen really arise on it. It's not necessarily, the extended magazine issue happens all the time. That issue is like, with any Glock, with the double feeding and issues and whatnot. But yeah, I really like this model. I can't wait to get it to peak performance. It's very comfortable in the hand. I like that Glock 19 feel. To me, it's like the perfect size firearm for like the 19/23. I like that compact size / capacity for your like average circumstances. But it's not always ideal to carry that much weight on you. Hence why I like to carry like Glock 42s, Glock 43Xs and stuff as well, because that's so light you'll practically forget about it when it's on your side. But that extra barrel length and the extra capacity is all a plus as well. So you kind of just got to weigh your options. Do you want to be comfortable, or do you want to be, have a bigger edge on your opponent possibly? But I think that as long as you practice with your weapons, all of them, you give them equal amount of training time, then you can become proficient with anything. There's people that really believe that they could freaking, John Wick some motherfuckers with a knife. I'm not that naive. I know that that's not realistic, you know what I mean? And also, I've had a double fracture in my left leg. I used to be into MMA and boxing and stuff like that. Nowadays, I don't really see a point in putting hands on someone and getting so close to them that they could possibly take my weapon from me, because a simple drawing your weapon and keeping it at a lowered angle like this, pretty much solves a lot of situations. I can't tell you how many times freaking drug addicts, when I was traveling across the country, or, gang members fucking just being harassive in certain neighborhoods, mean mugging and shit. And if you just have that shit at the simple ready, they don't even have to see it. But which car's right there at the ready. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's been at those certain gas stations. Everyone's been at freaking certain neighborhoods when they're freaking pulling out. They're like, you know what I mean? Let me just, untuck my shirt real quick and keep this right here at the ready as I'm pulling out. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to get caught lacking. It's happening everywhere, there's violence, and violence stems from poverty and